vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and it is Monday, which means it's time for another installment of Vinyl Editions. Now, as I mentioned last week, record stores were opening up again, and previous week they started to open, and by the end of the week they were completely opened up, and I might have gone a little crazy in purchasing. But hey, I guess that's what you do when you haven't been able to dig in a vinyl bin for that long. So I want to show you some cool stuff. I got 2 record stores that I hit on Friday. I also got some orders that came in through Discogs as well as Amazon, things that I had ordered and they finally are starting to ship now. And so I want to show you that, but I'm going to start with the Discogs order because I mentioned in last week's video that I had some stuff coming in, and one of them was arriving that same day that I put the video out, and it did come, and I'm super excited about this. This album is something I've been hunting for quite a while. It's an album that when you see it, it's out there. When you see it, it's usually in the $75 to $100 range. And I found this one on Discogs. The seller had it listed as a G for the cover and a G for the vinyl itself. I messaged the person who had it for sale and asked, what kind of issues were going on with the album. Did it have a lot of surface noise? Was there something that made it a G? And the response I got from him was that it's basically been unplayed, maybe one time played since he bought it. And I thought, well, that's kind of a weird rating to give a record then for something that's basically unplayed. So I inquired a little more, and I decided to take a chance because the price on the album that he listed was $10. $10 for this album was insane. So I thought, well, I'm going to take a chance because it seems to me like maybe he just doesn't know how to grade his records properly, and it's in a lot better shape than he says. So I took the chance. It arrived, like I said, last Tuesday when I filmed that video. This is Winona Judd's debut self-titled solo album, Winona. This is the album that she released after her mom had retired from the music industry, and the Judds basically disbanded at that point. And it's absolutely fantastic album. My parents had this on CD when I was growing up. They got it when it was first released. It's super great. I went to a concert of Winona with my parents because we just really liked her music so much, and I've been looking for this. So I got this, and like I said, the guy rated it as a G on the cover. As you can see, this thing has no seam splits. It's other than a couple creases here and maybe a little up here, this thing is practically new. It's beautiful. And so I took it out, I grabbed the vinyl, and lo and behold, this thing, like he said, he maybe played it once since buying it. It's pristine. So I basically got a $75 album for $10 off this guy because he had graded it too low, and people probably were scared off by that. So it never hurts when someone lists something like that and they don't kind of tell you what's going on, to check with them on what the reason for the rating is. I did reach out to him and say that if it were me, I would have probably rated this a VG plus on the vinyl and a VG on the cover due to the creasing, just to let him know that I think his grading was just a little too low. But super excited to have this. It sounds awesome. I played it right away when I got it, and yeah, this was an awesome find. All right, up next, a vinyl auction that I won. This is a cautionary tale in pay attention to what you're bidding on, because if you don't know what it is, maybe look it up before you place a bid. This is Cyndi Lauper, Change of Heart. Now, I was distracted. I saw the Cyndi Lauper. I thought, oh, that's not something I have by Cyndi Lauper. Well, it turns out this is just a 12-inch single. Cool, very neat. However, probably only worth like $3, and I paid quite a bit more than that for this. Not a ton more, but more than that for this. And when I got it, I realized that it was not a Cyndi Lauper album I didn't have. It was just a single. So I did get this. It's cool. It's in perfect conditions. It's VG plus vinyl, VG plus cover, but it's a 12-inch single, and that's not really my bag, really. So, oh well. All right, now Stash House. I told you about Stash House a couple weeks ago. Here's a couple albums I got in. They had a value vinyl night. Everything that he was selling was $3 and in VG to VG plus condition. The first one I got is this, the Marshall Tucker Band, Lawn Hard Ride. Great album. Listen to this right away, and it's really good. So got that one. Next one I got, this one I bought as a blind buy, completely blind buy, based on the cover alone. I'd seen it a few times and thought this is just a really neat cover. I need to see what this is all about. And so I picked it up. This is Trillion's self-titled debut album. So these guys are prog rock, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. It's pretty good stuff. And that cover is just really, really cool. It's a badass cover. So I picked this up and, happy with the purchase. Next one I picked up is John Cougar Mellencamp, by going by Mellencamp here, The Lonesome Jubilee. So that was one I was missing in my Mellencamp collection, so pick that up. And last but certainly not least, I have two more. I picked this up. This is Montrose Jump on It. Not Sammy Hagar, which, I thought I'd give it a chance for the price, and we'll see what it is. I like the Sammy Hagar Montrose. Have never really listened to the non-Sammy Hagar, so we'll give this a shot and see what that's all about. And the last one I picked up is this. This is something that I know Dan at Dan's Vinyl Channel would like. This is Go West. So pretty cool 80s stuff. Pick that up as well. All right, next, a couple Amazon things that came in I'm really pumped about. The first one is B.B. King and Eric Clapton, Riding with the King. This is one of the few that was missing from my collection, and I just found out too after I bought this that they're reissuing it now. So I've been hunting it for a while, and lo and behold, here we go. It's right here, but it is what it is. Awesome album. Glad to have it in the collection. The next one, super excited about this. This is Robert Johnson's The Complete Collection. So this is Robert Johnson is a blues musician from the 1920s and 30s. He is known to urban legendly sell his soul to the devil to learn how to play guitar and become the great guitar player that he was. Influenced tons of people, including Eric Clapton and the Rolling Stones, among many, many others. And I've been looking for a good collection of his that sounded decent, right? Because this is 1930s recording. The equipment back then, not that good. So a lot of times you get just really bad recordings from back then. These are nice and cleaned up. It sounds really good. I mean, it's definitely 1930s sound. But for what they did to clean them up and get rid of some of the hiss and all the other archival effects like that, they did a great job with this. So happy to have this. This is all 29 compositions that are known to exist that he recorded on this one album. Pretty cool to have. And let's see, the last one from the Amazon orders was this one here. This is a music on vinyl pressing of Avril Lavigne's Let Go album. This is her first album. Now this one's pretty cool because this is one of my wife's favorites. I remember when just after we were married, she picked this up and we listened to this all the time on car rides. And so it was fun to get this and listen to it. MOV pressing obviously sounds phenomenal. So happy to have that as well. All right, next up I placed an order with deep discount as well that finally came through. The first thing I picked up was this. This is we'll start with that there. That's the inside cover. This is Michael Jackson's Dangerous picture disc. So I'm not a big picture disc guy, but they've been doing a really good job with picture discs lately and making them sound pretty darn good. So I definitely picked this up. This is kind of cool. It's got great artwork on it. The back side of the disc one, pretty cool stuff. It's a 2-disc set. Now I already have the black vinyl version of this, so this was just to have in my collection as something to have because I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. So I did pick that up for that reason alone, and it sounds pretty good. I listened to it, not bad. The next one I picked up for my wife and my kids. As many of you probably know, I've said it before, my wife's a huge Disney fan, and my kid, obviously my 6-year-old, loves Disney movies. So I picked up the Moana soundtrack. It's one of those movies that they watched a few times together, and I asked her, this was really cheap, I think it was $6, and I asked her if she would be interested in owning the soundtrack to it. She said heck yeah, especially for $6. So I picked that up for them. They're pretty excited to listen to that, so that's pretty cool. Another one I picked up, really good. This is Bob Seger's Greatest Hits. I have a bunch of Bob Seger solo albums, but I wanted something like this in my collection so that I could really just enjoy the big songs that I'm really attached to, and this serves that purpose greatly. It's a great compilation. Really enjoy it. Sounds fantastic as well. So Really enjoyed that. Bob Seger. And the last one I picked up from deep discount I was really pumped about. I've been looking for this forever. Every time I look, it's never in stock anywhere I go. And like I said, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. He was really my first musical interest besides the Beatles growing up. He was the first concert I ever went to on the Bad Tour. And his posthumous albums that he's put out, one of them was put out on vinyl, the other one not, and there's a whole battle with a lawsuit over that and other things for reasons why. I have it on CD, but this one, it's always been sitting there staring at me. This is Michael Jackson's Escape album. It's always out of stock everywhere, and Deep Discount had it in stock. It wasn't discounted at all. It was the normal price, but I decided to get it because I never see it in stock anywhere. So really excited to have this. I put this on the other day, and my son was jamming to it. He really, really enjoyed it as well. So just a great album by Michael. They did a good job on this one, producing it and everything else. So very fun to have that Michael Jackson album. All right, so as I stated before, I went to 2 record stores over the weekend, and my 2 favorites that I have been missing so much. We'll start with Down in the Valley. That's where I started first, and so let's go there. The first thing I found, super excited. These guys never seem to have any of Dolly in stock, but they did this time. This is Burlap and Satin. Super pumped because this one's hard for me to find. Glad to finally have this here. Just awesome. This is from 1983. So just one of those you don't see often. So happy to have found this. Excited about that. That was the only vinyl I found at Down Valley, but I did find some cool stuff. First and foremost, I found some cassettes. We got Tesla's 5-Man Acoustical Jam. Picked that up on cassette. Really excited about that. Here's some more Dolly. This is Slow Dance with the Moon, Dolly Parton. And I found, this is awesome, Slaughter's Stick It To You Live. So that's really exciting. I've not heard this ever before, actually. I really like Slaughter, and I really like the album Stick It To You, but I never actually owned or listened to Stick It Live. So really excited about that. Found it on cassette and CD. So I picked both up. So excited about that. And then, of course, everyone knows I'm a Carly Simon fan, and this is one of those albums that you can only get a Brazilian pressing of. And, of course, that means you have to go to Brazil, and buying from South America, not an easy task. I've done it once, and it took a month to get my record here, and that was after 2 stops in customs on the way out and on the way in, where they held it each time for a long period of time before finally releasing it. Just a pain in the butt, so I try not to order from South America very much because of that reason. But this is one that was only pressed in Brazil on vinyl, so I decided I probably wouldn't get it. But this is Letters Never Sent by Carly Simon, so I picked up the CD of that from Down in the Valley. So that was Down in the Valley. After Down in the Valley, I took off and went to Mill City Sound, my other favorite record store, and I found some great stuff there. So we'll start with this. This is cool. I already have this this single, but I don't have it with a picture sleeve. So this is Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison, the 7-inch single, and I was super pumped to see it available on picture sleeve. So this is in great shape. So very excited about that. So yeah, Poison is one of those bands I just really, really enjoy. And so having that with the picture sleeve is pretty cool. Even the owner, when I brought it up, says, hey, you can have that. I don't have that yet with the picture sleeve. I said, well, too bad for you. But anyway, I found a couple 99 centers also. We'll start with Willie Nelson here. This is Willie Nelson's The Sound in Your Mind. I'm not familiar with the album, of course, but Willie Nelson I really enjoy, so 99 cents. I'm going to pick that up, no problems. Also found this for 99 cents. This is Michael Bolton's The Hunger. Pretty decent album. Not anywhere near as good as Soul Provider or Time, Love, and Tenderness, but pretty decent. The only thing is he does a cover of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding, and it's not my favorite. But otherwise, enjoy the album. So for 99 cents, happy to add it to my collection to finish that off. All right, some of the other things I found there. This I'm really excited about. This is Dire Straits Communique. Really, really love the production on Dire Straits albums, and just really enjoy the music as well. So I've been collecting their stuff. I've got another Dire Straits album on the way that should be here for next week's, hopefully, update. but this one I was missing and found it at Mill City Sound. So Dire Straits Communique. Picked up some Southern rock with Molly Hatchet here. This is Take No Prisoners album, Molly Hatchet. So again, another Molly Hatchet to add to my collection. Really enjoying those. This is pretty cool, guys. Now, obviously, I want the first movie soundtrack, but this one's also just really good. This is the Karate Kid Part 2 motion picture soundtrack, still sealed. So that's pretty sweet. This has The Glory of Love by Peter Cetera. That was the big song for this one. And let's see, what else is on here? Dennis DeYoung's on here. New Edition is on here. Carly Simon is on here. Yeah, Moody Blues are on here. Pretty cool, pretty good soundtrack. So super pumped to add this to my collection. Karate Kid Part 2. Now if I can find Karate Kid Part 1, I'll be quite happy. And the last, second to last piece I picked up, this is a Record Store Day release. And this is Cherry Curry's album. I listened to an interview with her on the Volume channel on Sirius XM, and she worked with Matt Sorum, the drummer for Guns N' Roses, on the Use Your Illusion albums and beyond. Well, I should take that back. The Use Your Illusion albums and the Spaghetti Incident and the Sympathy for the Devil single that they put out. He was the drummer for those, and he worked with Cherry Curry as a producer on this, and also features Slash, Billy Corgan, and Duff McKagan on here as well. I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm super excited to get this. It was 20% off because it was a leftover from Record Store Day, so I took it as a sign I should probably just pick it up. And last but not least, from down the valley, again, filling out some of that long-needed Dolly Parton. This is Bubbling Over from Dolly Parton. Super pumped to see this. One of those albums you just never see here, and it's expensive to usually buy. For Dolly albums, it's on the expensive side. So I picked this up. It was $14.99, and then of course I got 10% off for being a member. So yeah, pretty excited about that. This one is 1973, so very, very early Dolly, and very happy to add this to my collection as well. All right, so those are my 2 record store trips, but that's not all, guys. This isn't the end yet. Whew, I took a dive into the world of MOFI, and I wanted to do it right. And so what I did is I looked through their site over and over again. They've been having a sale. A lot of the albums on there were, $10 off the regular price, and I looked at different reviews for it. I saw Mazzy talk about a couple of these albums and saying they just sound amazing, and so I whittled it down to the albums I wanted, and I picked up 3 MOFI albums from Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs themselves, all Bob Dylan. And since yesterday was Bob Dylan's birthday and they arrived yesterday, awesome, it was perfect. So let's show you what I picked up. Super pumped about this, guys. This is The Times They Are A-Changin'. This is the original master recording version, mono, 2 LP, 45 RPM. This is the first. This is what I listened to so far, and man, it sounds awesome. Just awesome. So super pumped about it. These come in just amazing packaging. They're just high quality gatefolds, thick cardstock, and of course they ship them all in their Mobile Fidelity sleeves, so that's cool. I don't have to replace any sleeves on these. They all come in them already, so super good. This is the one I've listened to so far, but I also picked up Bob Dylan and the Band Basement Tapes. Super excited to listen to this. I've heard this is awesome, so I picked that up. Original master recording again. This one is a limited edition, number 6087. The Times They Are Changing was limited edition as well. They only had 3,000 copies. Mine is number 2704. And the last one I picked up was Bob Dylan's John Wesley Harding album. This one has All on the Watchtower on it. Again, I went with the original master recording. And this one is number 1100 out of 3000. So real pumped about this one as well. So for those who are unaware, they sell 2 different types of headers here. They've got the original master recording. That means it comes from the original analog tapes. They've been proven to be the original analog tapes. And they also sell Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab recordings, and those ones I believe are as close as they could get. They couldn't completely validate that they're the original master tapes, but they are either a second or third generation version of those tapes, so they get them as good as they can get. And so I went with the original master recordings because those are definitely coming off the best analog source. And so far, very impressed. These are the first original master recordings or Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab albums that I've ever owned, and super pumped about that. I purposely went with Dylan. There's one other one that I really want that's no longer in stock right now, but I did message Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab, and it sounds like they're hoping to have it in stock in the next 2 to 3 months. If that's the case, I will definitely be purchasing that. I've already put my local record store on alert to look out for that, so that if it does get in stock, they can order it for me and then I can buy it from them directly. So we'll see if that happens, but really pumped about that. So there you go, guys. It's kind of a longer video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I went a little nuts with my first week back into the record stores, but really happy with everything that I picked up so far. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Love to talk with you. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. In the comments or in the description section, I have links to all my different social medias and my podcasts, so do check those out as well. And as always, keep spinning vinyl, friends.